You might think they're just simple creatures, but some insects are capable of solving complex problems and even teaching each other new skills, and it's about to change everything you thought you knew about intelligence. For a long time, we believed that intelligence is unique to humans and a few other animals, but it turns out that insects like bees, wasps, and ants are more clever than we gave them credit for. They're able to work together, communicate with each other, and even use tools to get the job done, which is pretty impressive when you think about it. One of the most fascinating examples of insect intelligence is the way that some species of ants are able to farm their own food, just like we do. They'll cultivate crops, harvest them, and even use fertilizer to make them grow faster, which is a level of complexity that we wouldn't normally associate with insects. But what's even more amazing is that they're able to teach each other how to do it, with older ants showing younger ones the ropes and passing on their knowledge from generation to generation. This is a level of social behavior that's similar to what we see in humans, and it's got scientists pretty excited. They're starting to realize that intelligence isn't just about how big your brain is, or how complex your nervous system is, but about how you're able to interact with your environment and solve problems. And when you look at it that way, insects start to seem a lot more intelligent than we ever gave them credit for. Take bees, for example, which are able to communicate with each other through complex dance patterns and work together to build intricate hives. They're able to solve problems like finding food and avoiding predators, and they're even able to adapt to new situations, like changes in the weather. And it's not just bees, lots of other insects are capable of similar feats, from the way that termites build complex underground colonies to the way that wasps are able to recognize each other's faces. It's clear that insects are capable of some pretty sophisticated social behavior, and it's got scientists wondering what other secrets they might be hiding. One of the key things that's allowing scientists to study insect intelligence in such detail is the development of new technologies, like high-speed cameras and advanced computer simulations. These tools are giving us a glimpse into the hidden world of insects and revealing behaviors that we never knew existed. For example, scientists have used high-speed cameras to study the way that insects fly, and they've discovered that they're able to make tiny adjustments to their wings to stay aloft and navigate through complex environments. It's an incredible level of precision, and it's something that we're still trying to understand. As we learn more about insect intelligence, we're starting to realize just how complex their social behaviors are, and how they're able to work together to achieve common goals. Insects like ants and bees are able to form complex societies with different castes and roles, and they're able to communicate with each other in subtle ways using chemical signals and body language. It's a level of sophistication that's similar to what we see in human societies, and it's got scientists wondering what we can learn from these tiny creatures. By studying insect intelligence, we might be able to gain insights into our own behavior and develop new strategies for solving complex problems. And that's what's so exciting about this field of research. It's not just about understanding insects, it's about understanding ourselves and our place in the natural world. The more we learn about insect intelligence, the more we're realizing that they're not just simple creatures, but complex, social, and highly intelligent beings that are capable of amazing things. And as we continue to explore this fascinating world, we're likely to discover even more surprising examples of insect intelligence and social behavior. One of the most impressive examples of insect intelligence is the complex social hierarchy of ants, where different species have developed unique communication systems and problem-solving strategies. For instance, some ants are able to use chemical signals or pheromones to mark trails and recruit other ants to follow them, which is essentially a form of map-making. This ability to communicate and work together allows ants to build intricate underground colonies with separate areas for food storage, nurseries, and even waste management. It's like a tiny, insect-sized city with its own infrastructure and social rules. But ants aren't the only insects that are capable of complex social behavior. Bees are also incredibly intelligent and social creatures. They live in colonies, with a single queen bee and thousands of worker bees that work together to build intricate hives and collect food. Bees are able to communicate with each other through a complex system of dance and pheromones, which allows them to coordinate their behavior and work together to achieve common goals. For example, when a forager bee finds a rich source of nectar, it will return to the hive and perform a complex dance that tells the other bees the location and quality of the food source. This dance is so precise that it can even indicate the direction and distance of the food source, which is a remarkable example of insect intelligence and social behavior. In addition to their complex social hierarchies and communication systems, insects are also capable of remarkable feats of navigation and spatial memory. For example, some species of butterflies and bees are able to migrate thousands of miles each year, crossing entire continents and oceans to reach their breeding grounds. This is an incredible feat of navigation that requires a deep understanding of the environment and the ability to remember specific locations and landmarks. It's like having a built-in GPS system that allows them to find their way, even in unfamiliar territories. But how do insects develop these complex social behaviors and intelligence? It's likely that their intelligence is closely tied to their evolution and adaptation to their environment. Insects have been around for millions of years and have had to develop unique strategies to survive and thrive in a wide range of ecosystems. From the frozen tundra to the hottest deserts, insects have evolved to occupy almost every niche and have developed remarkable adaptations to cope with their environments. And as we continue to study insect intelligence and social behavior, we're likely to discover even more surprising examples of their adaptability and resilience. One of the most fascinating examples of insect intelligence is the complex social structures of certain species, like ants and bees. These insects live in highly organized colonies with different castes, performing different roles and working together to achieve a common goal. For example, in a bee colony, you have worker bees that gather nectar and pollen, while the queen bee lays eggs and ensures the survival of the colony. This level of organization is reminiscent of human societies and suggests a high level of intelligence and communication among the insects. But how do these insects communicate and coordinate their actions? Well, it turns out that they use a variety of signals, including chemical signals, like pheromones, and visual signals, like body language. For example, when a forager bee returns to the hive, it performs a complex dance that informs the other bees about the location and quality of the food source. This dance is made up of specific movements and patterns that convey different information and allow the other bees to make informed decisions about where to forage. In addition to their complex social structures, insects have also evolved some remarkable problem-solving abilities. For example, some species of ants are able to navigate complex networks of trails and paths and even use tools to overcome obstacles. One famous example is the leafcutter ant that uses leaves to cultivate fungus for food. These ants are able to cut and carry leaves back to their colonies and then use them to create a nutrient-rich soil that allows the fungus to grow. This level of problem-solving is impressive and suggests that insects are capable of complex thought and planning. Another area where insects have shown remarkable intelligence is in their ability to adapt to changing environments. For example, some species of insects are able to adjust their behavior in response to changes in temperature or humidity. This allows them to survive and even thrive in environments that would be hostile to other animals. For example, the desert ant is able to navigate the scorching hot sand by using the position of the sun to guide its movements. This ant is also able to adjust its activity patterns to avoid the hottest part of the day and conserve energy. The study of insect intelligence and social behavior has also led to some surprising discoveries about the evolution of intelligence in general. For example, research has shown that the intelligence of insects is not necessarily linked to the size of their brains. In fact, some species of insects have relatively simple nervous systems, but are still able to exhibit complex behaviors. This suggests that intelligence is not solely the result of brain size or complexity, but rather the result of a complex interplay between different factors, including evolution, environment, and social interaction. So, what does this mean for our understanding of insect intelligence and social behavior? Well, it suggests that we need to look beyond the traditional measures of intelligence, such as brain size or complexity, and consider the unique characteristics of each species. For example, ants are able to navigate complex networks of trails and communicate with each other using chemical signals. This is a remarkable feat of social organization that allows them to build complex societies with different castes and roles. Bees, on the other hand, are able to communicate through complex dance patterns that convey information about food sources and danger. This is a highly sophisticated form of communication that allows them to coordinate their behavior and work together to build complex hives. These examples demonstrate that insect intelligence is not just about individual brains, but about the collective behavior of the group. It's a reminder that intelligence is not just about individual cognition, but about the social and environmental context in which it evolves. In fact, many species of insects are able to exhibit complex social behaviors, such as cooperation, altruism, and even culture. For example, some species of wasps are able to recognize individual members of their colony and even exhibit cultural traditions that are passed down from generation to generation. This is a remarkable example of social complexity that challenges our traditional views of insect intelligence. It suggests that insects are not just simple, instinctual creatures, but rather complex social animals that are capable of remarkable feats of intelligence and cooperation. As we continue to explore the fascinating world of insect intelligence and social behavior, we are reminded of the importance of considering the unique characteristics of each species. By studying the complex social behaviors of insects, we can gain insights into the evolution of intelligence and the complex interplay between different factors that shape their behavior. So, what's next in our exploration of the natural world? In our next video, we'll be exploring the fascinating world of plant intelligence and how plants are able to communicate and adapt to their environment. Join us as we delve into the secret life of plants and discover the surprising ways in which they are able to solve problems and interact with their surroundings.